Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any question regarding this video or any video that I've posted in the past, please write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com. It's easier for me to answer your question through emails. And I would love to hear from you if you have any comments, recommendations, and suggestions. Many years ago, I took my wife to this restaurant and they serve a Cantonese pan-fried noodle dish. My wife loved it immediately. This noodle dish is normally made with Asian egg noodles. And I find that this egg noodle is very similar to the angel hair pasta noodles. Then I decided maybe it is possible for me to use the angel hair pasta noodles to make this dish. The reason is that if I can use one ingredient and use it to make different kind of dishes, this will greatly increase the diversity as well as the interest of the meal. So I decided I'm going to give it a try. This pan-fried noodle dish originated from southern part of China in the Guangdong province as an example of a Cantonese cuisine. The crispy and soft texture of the noodles make it a great culinary experience. So now each time when I cook the angel hair pasta noodles for a spaghetti meal, I will cook 2 pounds of the noodles. I will use some of it as a spaghetti meal, then I will store the rest away. And cooking these noodles in the wok is turned out to be a perfect way to cook spaghetti noodles. And then I will store the noodles in plastic containers. I will place them in the refrigerator. Now, from my past experience, I have learned that when you cook fried rice, the rice is much easier to cook when they are dry after you store them in the refrigerator. This will prevent them from stick and burn to the bottom of the wok. So I decided I'm going to give it a try with these noodles as well, because normally the noodles are notoriously for their ability to stick and burn to the bottom surface of the wok. I used my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok to cook this dish. I started with 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And since this wok has a natural surface, I'm going to season it to create a non-stick cooked surface using my spot seasoning method. You can take a look at this video to learn more about this method. I'm going to use about 3 cups of angel hair pasta noodles. Now the angel hair pasta noodle has been sitting in the refrigerator for about 72 hours. The first step is that to make sure I coat the surface of the noodles with oil as much as possible. And the simple way to do that is to use a pair of tongs to tease the noodle apart. And then you toss the noodles in the wok, and you use this method to coat the noodles with oil. And once I have thoroughly coated the noodles with oil, I will let them fry. I will fry one side first, and it usually takes about 5 to 6 minutes to fry to create a crispy surface. To cook this dish, it is essential that the noodle do not stick and burn to the bottom surface of the wok. Noodles are notoriously for doing that. Putting them in the refrigerator for 48 to 70 hours make a huge difference in prevent them from sticking and burning. If you notice that your noodles start to stick and burn to the surface of the wok, you know you did not keep the noodles in the refrigerator long enough. At this point, you want to adjust your heat. I will turn it to medium or medium-low, so this way it will brown the noodles rather than burning the noodles. The noodles should take on a brown color rather than a black color. If it turns black, it means that either your wok is too hot or you don't have enough oil. Then I will add a small amount of oil. At this point, I will tease the noodles apart as much as possible to achieve consistent browning. Now it depends on how you like the texture of the noodles. If you like it to be a little bit softer, then you will fry them shorter. But sometimes if you like to be more crisp, then you fry them longer. And my wife likes it somewhere in between. And next the dish is ready, I'm going to add about 1½ tablespoon of oyster sauce. This will give the noodle a very light seasoning. And then I add some chopped scallions. I prefer the noodle to have a fresh taste, and adding the chopped scallion toward the end is a good way to do it. This way, I will not cook the chopped scallion very much, so they will remain fresh. Now this is another example of advanced prepping that can facilitate the speed in cooking a dish. In this case, I already have the angel hair noodles in the refrigerator. I don't even have to thaw it out. All I need to do is take it from the refrigerator and I'm ready to cook. So in this case, I can have this dish ready in less than 10 minutes. This dish is a great complement if you have some leftover from the previous day, either any sort of protein or vegetables you can add to this dish. So by having the pasta noodles already made, you make it much simpler to cook this meal. Now in this particular case, I'm going to use this noodle as a foundation for a dish that I'm going to cook for both my wife and I. And in this dish is a vegetable medley that have Brussels sprouts, portobello mushroom, a king oyster mushroom, and purple cabbage. This noodle dish is a great alternative to rice. So if you are tired of eating rice and you want to have something different, this noodle is a wonderful substitution. And the goal of my fast cooking system is always to make home cooking efficient, practical, and creative. This is a creative way to use the angel hair pasta noodles. And by making this substitution, you can improve the repertoire that you have and make your home cooking more interesting. And ultimately, the more you enjoy your home cooking, the less likely that you want to eat fast and ultra-processed food. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.